Good morning. Today we have Kittu ready with us again. And Kittu, what will you speak to us about this morning?
I will speak to you about the exhibition that I put up in 1972 as part of the Aurobindo centenary. I'll give you the background and many other things, and then my interview with the mother after the exhibition. So in 1971, 70 or 71, mother started something called the Aurobindo Action. And Kiran Bhai, Aurobinda, Udar, Shyam Sundarji, they were all deeply involved. Aurobindo's action, the main purpose was to bring to the country the knowledge of Aurobindo. It was essentially concentrated on India. Mother has written that very clearly. Aurobindo's action was started for concentrating on India. In 1971 February, Indira Gandhi came to Pondicherry. She came at night. Mother was waiting from 7:30. She came at almost 9. And I was there on the first floor. I had to give her a glass of coconut water. She went up to the mother, spent about 15 minutes. I was told that mother asked her about the elections that were coming. She wanted a certain number of seats, and mother just smiled, and she got more than what she wanted. Within a few days after being sworn in as Prime Minister, a massive crisis erupted in Bangladesh, East Pakistan. The Pakistan army was a terrific crackdown. Thousands of people were killed. And mother in 1971 April 4th, sent a message to Indira Gandhi. It is urgent and imperative. Exact word, but the idea is that India recognize Bangladesh immediately, urgently, which would have been considered by Pakistan as an act of war. So I won't go into that story, long story. Indira was very keen on getting through, but there were political problems. The army was not ready because of the government of India's policies, whatever it was. During that time, I got deeply involved in the Bangladesh war. Psychologically, I used to read everything very carefully. What kind of identification with. So every time I used to see photos of people being massacred and all that, I used to suffer like anything. I mean, it was as if my own people are being killed. So I wrote a letter to the mother that it is very painful. And mother said this orally, that he has got into that kind of universal consciousness where he is identified with all the forces, but he must get out because he should not get into that suffering. He should get into the joy of the universal consciousness. So she sent me a blessing packet. Immediately that thing stopped. The identification was there, that pain was not there. And the supreme confidence that something will happen. In any case, about the Bangladesh war, I have a lot of things to say. I've written a whole article on this. The mother's role in the Bangladesh war, which has been published by the defense establishment in India. I will come to that another day. 71, Aurobindo's action started in a big way. Kiran Bhai used to go out frequently, and to a certain extent the work suffered in the school. But then mother considered that very important. Udar used to go, they used to give talks on human cycle, ideal of human unity, all that is concerned with India. And 72 was the centenary year that was going to come. And mother thought that this was a very good occasion, the coming of the centenary year with the government of India showing active support, that this was the time when the message could be really spread to the whole country. So that was outside Pondicherry. Here Kirit Bhai wanted to hold the year 1972 in a school where we could have a lot of interaction with the students, explaining to them Sri Aurobindo's thoughts, etc., etc., etc. So in 1971 a meeting was called in December after the school started. I will not elaborate in detail. That meeting lasted only 5 minutes. Amit Ali made one proposal. I got up and made just one sentence. One teacher stood up, stamping on the table. What right has Kittu to do any work for Sri Aurobindo? Is he in contact with his psychic being? Etc., etc. The meeting was over in 2 minutes. So nothing happened in 72. Then March 29th, 1972, I used to always come to the school at 7:30 and sit in the teacher's room. The music would go on and then I would go to my class. And Shishirda was there, Shishir Kumar Mitra, he was the director. He used to sit in that table and I used to sit opposite him. We are very fond of each other. He liked me a lot. So he looked at me and said, "See, Government of India is putting up an exhibition in Delhi on Sri Aurobindo." Showed me a brochure. "What are you people doing here?" I said, "Sir, you are the director. It is not what we people are doing, but what you are doing." How? The music had not yet started. He went straight to Kirit Bhai's room, next door, office. And after the music, he came back and said that we are writing to mother about putting up an exhibition and we are proposing your name. He didn't ask me. He just said that I am putting your name. Next day, Kirit Bhai came and called me and said, "Mother has warmly approved." I was happy, but I was very nervous. I had never put an exhibition up in my life. And here I was given the responsibility of putting up an exhibition on Sri Aurobindo, 1972 centenary year. I was really in some kind of inner panic. I didn't know what to do. So I wrote a letter to mother that, "Mother, I can't do it unless you give me your full support." At that time, Amrita was my conduit. So I sent the letter and said that I would like a theme for the exhibition. So mother told Amrita, which he wrote down, and mother gave 3 words: respect, sincerity, and adoration. Keep this in your mind all the time. And what I want is that since the color of Sri Aurobindo is light blue, I would like you to have them written, these 3 words in big: respect, sincerity, adoration, and put it at the beginning of the exhibition. So I was very happy about that. But I didn't know how to go about it. I was feeling very nervous. So I began to consult people. I went to Amal Kiran. Said some things, but didn't touch me at all. I went to Jigal Kishore, still worse. Prananda said, "Don't come to me for all these things. You have to do it by yourselves." I went to 2 or 3 others. Nothing gave me any satisfaction. Then I decided to go to Supreme. Now Satprem used to sit every day in the evening on the parapet facing the sea. And normally you wouldn't like anybody to talk to him. But when I told Sujataji that I would like to speak to him, she fixed an appointment one day evening at 6 o'clock. Something like that, 5:45, 6. I went to the tennis ground. He was facing the sea. I stood beside him. He turned towards me and I was talking to him. So I told him the whole background, how this whole thing fell upon me, not that I asked for it, and that mother had given me these 3 words. And I am just unable to see how to start. Closed his eyes. For 1 minute he looked at me, then again said, "Aren't you ashamed of yourself? Aurobindo is standing right behind you. His full force and support are with you. Mother has given you 3 words and you are running after human beings to find out what to do." My God, it came like a blow. I said, my God, what a fool I am. After all that mother has given, still looking for help from human beings. Just kept quiet and sat. I took the attitude and immediately things started falling in place. I wanted someone to help me. Just one person, because if there are too many, then it will be difficult. So I just wanted one. I asked some teachers. One of them said, "You people do the exhibitions, I will do the serious work." I kept quiet. Then I was walking towards knowledge, and Jumur was coming back from that side. I met her in the street and I asked her, "Jumur, this is what has happened, will you help me?" And she said straight away, "Yes." Warmly, with a lot of goodwill and feeling. So we started the work. But I had told mother that I would like to tell you everything as to what I am doing. She said yes, but now there was a logistic problem. Exhibition hall, not what it is today, it was a horrible exhibition hall. Very dirty. And that usually every year on August 15th, it is to be reserved for International Photographic Exhibition and Tara's exhibition. So now I must get the exhibition hall. Krishna Laji was in charge. He said, "Go and ask Pranab." I asked Pranab. Pranab said, "Tara is not here, Tara is in Germany. I will write to her, I will find out. If she agrees, then I will give you, otherwise no exhibition." I kept quiet. The whole of May passed. We had started working, but I was not sure that I will get the exhibition hall. Early June, Pranabda called me and said that you can have 2 rooms only. The long room and that small room, not the first 2 rooms. Now I needed the photographs, there were no photographs. So I went to Pranabda, he told me go to Vishwajit. I went to Vishwajit. There was no paper, we had to order paper. And Vishwajit worked like mad, day and night. I am eternally grateful to him. And he did a job of love. And if you are not satisfied with the photo, you would do it again. So sometimes I have 5 or 6 photos of the same one, slight defects, right? So we started selecting the photos right from childhood up to the very end. For every photo, we decided, Jumur and myself, that there will be a Savitri quotation below. And that Savitri quotation was to be chosen by Jumur, because she knows Savitri well. The other quotations we will do work out together, picked out from his own writings, almost entirely his own writings. Now and then, if somebody had commented beautifully on Aurobindo, we added it. So what I used to do was that I used to type out this whole thing. I used to send every photo with the quotation to the mother through Andreda. Mother would spend 15-20 minutes going through them, right? And send them back. See, now this was the full support that she gave me. Every photo was sent to mother. One photo she said, no, I don't want this photo to be put up. We didn't put it up. Another photo of hers, I think it was in Japan or in France. She was looking exquisitely beautiful. And I sent this photo through Andrea to mother. And Andrea told me mother was violently upset. Everybody will say how beautiful she looks. They will look only at the outside. They will not look at the real mother, right? So I had to withdraw it. It is a lovely photo, but every one of these writings and photos was sent to mother. Now we needed somebody to write calligraphy. So Jhumur asked Gauri, and Gauri very warmly joined, but it was too much of work for Gauri. Only 2 months. So we called Arati to help, we called Siddharth to help, we called Sumedha Ben to help. And they all wrote, and it was written in hand, small. At that time the exhibition hall was not even 1/10 of what it is today. It was a really ugly sight. But we put up the whole thing. Towards the end, I wanted a photo of the mother where the quotation will be, you will have to fulfill the supravental work or something like that in Aurobindo's words. I wanted a photo of that. Mother said, I asked her to choose. She said, no, you tell Pranab. Then she told me, wherever photography is concerned, Pranab is in charge. You have to always listen to him. I went to Pranab and said, he said, no, I have no time. You do what you like. I gave up. Next day he called me, all right, I'll find something for you. Very affectionately. Then one day, in fact not one day, the very next day, I was walking and he was about 100 meters away from me, and in his typical fashion, Pranab started, Kittu, come here. I went there. Here is the photo that I have selected for you. So I sent it to mother. Mother said, beautiful photo. See, I want to tell you this because mother has told me 3-4 times, anything connected with photography, it is Pranab who will decide. I have been absolutely faithful. There have been so many pressures. There is nothing doing. Pranab in that area. We put up the thing. Then suddenly we got an idea that in the last room, the small room, the last part, we will convert it into something of a replica of Aurobindo's room. So we wanted some things there. So I went to Champaklal-ji, very warm. He gave me a long easy chair which Aurobindo had used. He gave me a table which Aurobindo had used. He gave me a chair which Aurobindo had used. He gave me a piece of tile which was removed from the room. That was there. Mother herself gave us certain things. I got certain manuscripts directly, right? In her own handwriting and Aurobindo's handwriting. All of them we put there. And we started the exhibition on the 12th of August 1972, 9 or 9:30. Narad opened it, but Andrea, Kirit, myself were there. The photograph is there. The exhibition lasted till the 20th. We wanted some music to be accompanied during the thing. After one day we found that Chanel's 1972 music is the only one. Right through, 7 hours a day it was being played. It was like a mantra. I have seen people going there, coming out in tears. Even the one who shouted that I have no right to do Aurobindo's work, he was out, I saw him in tears. two parts. One part very hostile, another part open to the divine. Anyway, it was very well received. I called Satprem. First he said no. Finally he came. Only 10 minutes he spent. He said, Aurobindo is physically present in this place. So then the demand was so great, extend the exhibition. So I wrote to Mother, through Andre. Mother said, not 1 minute. On the 20th August at 7 p.m. it is closed. We followed the orders. After 7, Shunilla and a few others who had been closely involved, they all came and they saw the exhibition. They were in tears. But on the 21st we started dismantling the whole thing. And I asked Ananda why Mother was so strict about not even 1 minute more. She said, Mother had put a very special force. Aurobindo was there. So everybody who was sensitive felt it. That's why, I won't give you a name, but dozens of people in tears. They've written at least 100 letters I got after that. Kittu, what have you done? Fantastic. I said, I have not done anything. I remember during that period, June, July, August, I wanted something. I started referring to Mother. I would come out of the house, walk in front of Golconda, exactly the man I wanted to meet would come. And he would himself raise and say, I am told that you are putting an exhibition, I can give you this. Every step she took full care of everything. So that was an experience which I've had sometimes afterwards, but not such a prolonged period, where you had to do nothing. And Jumur was a wonderful assistant. I have a lot of warmth for her. For that 3 months what we did together, right? And I wrote a letter to Mother through Amrita that I would like to meet her to express my gratitude for all the help that she has given me. So she gave me August 31st, 10 o'clock. So Amrita and myself went up. I won't tell you all that Mother told me, but this much to say that Aurobindo is always with me now. It's finished. And that whenever you want to come up to meet me, you have to just tell a word to Kumud or Champakla, I will allow you to come. I was given free passage. So she said many things about the exhibition, about me, which I won't tell. Then I told her, Mother, I used to see the manuscripts coming, which we displayed in those little cases, glass cases. And every time I used to touch those manuscripts, a current used to pass through my body, a current of happiness. I've fallen in love with those manuscripts also. I am told that Jayantilal is starting a department. I would like to help there. My mother looked at me and said, do you know anything about preservation of manuscripts and about photography? I said, nothing. But if you tell me, I am prepared to go to Delhi, stay for a month or whatever is needed, learn and then come back. And mother smiled. Before she could say anything, Anrida said, no mother, there's a lot of work in the school, he has to be there in the school. The mother closed her eyes. Then suddenly she got up and said in French, Kittu, mon cher enfant, Kirit n'est jamais ici. He's all the time travelling. Tanmay est parti pour la France. Tanmay had gone out. Moi, je compte sur toi pour faire quelque chose pour l'école. These are the exact words, because I noted them down immediately. I count upon you to do something for the school. I said, do what? I'm already a full-time worker, a full-time teacher. I am working with Kirit. Everything that is connected with the school comes to you through me or through Poetry I had left by that time. So mother said, he will tell you, Andre. So I did my pranam and came down, and Andreda called me after 3 days. Mother wants you to gradually take charge of the school. We will start with the flower room here. You are in charge of the flower room. Then we will move gradually to the next stage, that is the primary section. Then to the secondary, and then might be to the higher course. It might take 2 years, 3 years, it doesn't matter. And I would like you to introduce gradually the free progress at all the levels. So I wrote to mother, mother said yes. So I started interacting with all the teachers here. And many of them used to write letters to mother through me, connected with education at their level. I used to send them all, and mother would reply, it would go back to them. In certain cases, there was a teacher who said, Mother, Aurobindo had said that the medium of instruction should be the mother tongue. Why is it that we have English and French here? Andreda told me that mother snatched that letter from Andre's hand, crumpled it and threw it. I have never seen her so violent. They pick up one sentence of Aurobindo and then start. Do they not see the whole? She was very, very upset. Today that person is very important, directing in many ways. Anyway, that is secondary. So, there were some very unpleasant tasks that mother gave me. She said there are a lot of teachers who have no business to be teachers. Neither do they have the knowledge, nor do they have the discipline, nor, right? We have to weed them out. Oh God, and who is going to weed them out? So Kittu has to do the job. I said, Mother, I can't do it by myself. What I can do is that every department, flower room, progrès, anavant, has got a head, a man in charge. I'll ask him to give me a written note. I don't want such and such a teacher. And these are the reasons why I do not want. All that I will do is that I will get them and then hand them over to Andreda, who will hand them over to you. You decide. I cannot take this decision. It is not for me to do it. She said, yes, very good. So we went round. I went round because Kirit Bhai used to go in and out. I went round, some here, some in the flower room, some in Anavang. Everywhere I got a documented reasons why they don't want this teacher. Sent it to mother. In one case, mother said, I'm giving him a warning. I'll give him a strict warning, but this is the last time. 6 cases she removed. There was a storm. Who is responsible? Kittu. But I am not responsible. But then you have to face the music, right? I told mother, just keep quiet. So, some of them don't talk to me even today. They think that I am responsible for this. But well, I am not responsible. I only did exactly what the mother asked me to do and passed on the whole thing. And all those letters I've got now, somewhere there in my old files, right? Then, 1972, Andreda went away. As usual, he goes away in November to France. So, by that time, Tanmay had come back. And Kirit was also staying here. So, mother called Tanmay and Kirit regularly to meet her between 7 and 7:30 in the evening. It started in October. In November, before he left, Narad proposed my name to Mother. Mother said, yes, most welcome. So from November, date I don't remember, till 29th of March 1973, every alternate day between 7 and 7:30, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we used to go to the Mother. And there would be some conversation regarding the school and all that. One very important thing happened during that time. She said, one of the biggest problems that I have to face here is the parents. They come with all their notions. They want to impose their notions upon us. So Mother asked Kirit Bhai to prepare a note for the parents, what we want and what we want from them. And Kirit Bhai prepared it, and Mother liked it very much. It was read out to her loudly. Mother liked it very much. Then there was another question that came up about the free system. And Mother said that, there are children who are ready. Even in the flower room they are ready for the free system. So Mother asked Tanmaya to go around and see all the students and pick out those whom he thinks were good. And 3 or 4 were picked out. They are gems of human beings, even today. Right? Disciplined, faithful, loyal to Mother. Very fine people. Then another question cropped up, that this certificate that we are giving is acting as a kind of motivation which is making us move away from the central motivation of learning for the joy of learning. Although the degrees were not there, the certificate was there. So I remember at least 2 or 3 times this issue was raised. Then Mother decided, or Mother stated, that we should now remove even certificates. How do you do it? It's drastic. So Mother said, those who are already in the higher course, we will tell them that we will give you certificates. But those who are entering the higher course, we will tell them that there will be no certificate. So if you don't want, you can leave right now. So, with the full support of the Mother, Kirit Bhai called a meeting of all the students and made this announcement that we will gradually eliminate certificates. 3rd year gone, 2nd year gone, then after that no more certificates. You come, you love to study. Like when we were young, there was no question of anything else except that of course our parents were here, we always belonged to this family. So that was a drastic decision. Then on February 8th, it was a Saraswati Puja day. We are having a lot of discussions on the free system and the psychic being coming forward. So Mother said that I'll meet you next time. And Kirit Bhai proposed that along with the 3 of us, 3 more should come, Aarti, Jamur and Paru. So 6 of us on February 8th, 7 to 7:30. The interview is published also here, where she said right from the age of 5, she was in search of the psychic being. And then she said, free system is not for everybody. Because they are not of the same age psychologically. There are some whose souls are ready, some who are very primary stage. Only those who are ready it can be given. And I remember in 1962 when the first Government of India Commission came here, we spoke to them about the free system and all that. They were very impressed. I remember Mother telling Pavitra, Kirit Bhai, myself and Tanmaya, tell them not to try the free system outside. It will be a failure completely. It is not a magic wand. You have to create the psychological atmosphere, the social conditions, everything. But in a competitive world, if you do this, it will be a disaster. So these are not the exact words, but I remember very clearly that it has to be for a selection. That selection can increase if you prepare the right conditions. So well, this is what happened. She spoke. Then on 29th March, there was a case of smallpox in Pondicherry, in the ashram, in the school. And mother was very, very upset. I don't want anything of this kind here. You must be very careful before you come to my room. Because, she was working on her body at that time. Beautiful thing happened. One day she recited Om Namo Bhagavate 4 or 5 times. And she explained what Om means, what Namo means, what Bhagavate means. Another very interesting thing. Tanmaya used to record everything with a small cassette player. Generally he used to type out, and after 2 weeks he would give it to the 3 of us. I've got many of those. Some he didn't, some he did.
Do you remember what she said for Om?
It's there in a book. You can see it for yourself. Right. So Tanmaya told mother that these things that have been recorded and I have transcribed them, can we bring them out somewhere in the bulletin? Whatever you do, you must first hand over everything to Supreme. He is the final word, categorical. Give it to Supreme, let Supreme decide, whatever he says is the final word. Absolutely categorical. Now, I'm deliberately saying this because you hear other side also. Supreme was the devil, Supreme was this, Supreme was this. There are different aspects, right? So, March 29th was the last date that we met. After that, she reduced not only the 3 of us, but little by little reduced everything. Sometime in May, as far as I remember, when Nishikanto passed away, that day mother completely withdrew from everything. Nobody used to go to her except Pranab, Andre, Kumud, Champaklal, Diman.
Satprem?
In middle of May. Satprem was stopped.
Stopped at that time.
Sometime in May it was stopped. That was the end, right? Then mother left her body. What is to be done now for the school? Certificates or no certificates? Kirit has made an announcement. Mother has told him. Big problem. All our human minds, we didn't know what to do. Kirit said, I am puzzled. Tanmaya said, there is nothing to be puzzled. Mother has said, finish it off. Whom to go to? Nalini. Nalini said, certificate must be given. Tanmaya tried to. He was very sharp with Tanmaya. Juvalda was very keen that certificates must be continued. So there was a lot of unpleasantness. All kinds of things happened. There was one girl, woman who was brought up here, who got married and got a child. She was a teacher. So when naturally she got married and she got a child, she left teaching. But then afterwards, when the child became 2 or 3 years old, she wanted to start again. What to do? Can we allow somebody who has got a child to become a teacher again? So Kirit was asked. Kirit said, I do not know really. So we went to Andreda. At that time he used to consult me for everything, Andreda. What do you think? I said, I don't know anything. Just no feeling as to what to do. So Andreda told me, you go to Nalini, you go to Pranab. I met Pranabda in the sports ground, sitting on the top of the gallery. It was the month of November. And I told him, he said, no, totally no.
This is after mother left, right?
After mother left. Do not dilute the atmosphere. Don't you see there all the girls running whenever a little child comes and hugging and all that? The whole atmosphere will change. I listened to him. Then I went to Nalini. Nalini said, things are different now. When the mother was there in her body, there was a tremendous concentration of force here. So we have to be very, very careful about certain things. Now she has not diluted, she has spread herself out like a what I don't know, all over the world. All over the world. The atmosphere is not as intense as it was when she was there in her body. It is there still for those who know how to come in contact. Because there are two ashrams. There is the inner ashram and there is the outer ashram.
His words?
His words. The outer ashram is nowhere near what she wanted. Inner ashram, anybody who knows how to go in can go there. That is why people who come here, despite all the problems here, they straight away sometimes feel the presence of the mother very strongly. So he told me this. So he said, I think that we can allow her to teach. So Prananda one direction, Narad another direction. I said, I have no opinion. I did not have the wisdom. Ultimately, it was agreed to bring her back. But, as usual, Kittu tried to block her. Some of them don't talk to me even today. You see, there are people who are always twisting things and going and telling people. Then I've been faithful to Mother. That's why I'm not bothered too much about what people say. So, like this, there were many things. Another case I'll tell you, because I was very close to Narad. The UNESCO, I think, wanted to hold a painting competition in which they wanted our school to be involved. And they knew that we are not generally like to mix. So they said, we'll have it outside somewhere, but we'll have a separate room where you can send your 10 students. Nobody will be there. Only your 10 students. They make a drawing for 1 hour, then it will be sent for competition. So now, Kirit Bhai had to take a decision. He didn't know what to do. Because the moment you take a decision in the ashram, there are 10 opinions. And 10 important opinions. People who are very close to Mother. He came and asked me to ask Narad. As usual, Prananda blocked it completely. No contact with the outside world. Narad said, no, it is all right. Since they are giving you an isolated place, the world we'll have to open out now. The world will come in here. You can resist today, you can resist tomorrow. It's a question of time. You can't. It was no. We didn't allow. But he said, don't worry, it will take its own course. So, why I am saying this is that when the mother was there, you go for any problem, she would give an opinion. Whether I understood, whether I accepted, I meant outwardly accepted or not, I said, okay, you know what is better, we do it. There was no problem. All the problems have come after that. And I remember in one teacher's meeting, I won't give you names, very animated discussion on certain things on literature. And one teacher said, see, if the mother was there, it would have been so easy, we would have just referred to her. And she would have said, we would have done it. Another teacher said, what nonsense are you talking? Mother is there, mother is very much there. And he said, write a letter to her, give the answer, we'll follow it. Absolutely silenced. See, which means that we have to go inside, get the mother, and be sure that we have got the mother. And then you must be convinced that I have got the mother. Otherwise you say you can go to hell, I have got the mother. This is the problem of the ashram today. So I just wanted to show this. I've seen the mother at work. I will be very honest. There were times when she said certain things which I didn't understand at all. But I said, since you say it must be so, I'm doing it. And I did it wholeheartedly. It took me sometimes months to understand why she did what she did. At that time I didn't understand, but I did it. But I can't take that attitude towards anybody else in the ashram today. I can't say X tells me to this, I will do it whether I believe or not. I have to use my reason and probably my inner feel, right?
I have a couple of questions. Number one, did Nalini elaborate on why he said to give certificates?
Not that I know, because I was not involved in the discussion with Tanmayda, Jugalda.
Second one is, in the teachers' meetings, was Aurobindo ever mentioned in the context of education?
Generally not. For the simple reason, shall I speak a little about Aurobindo? 5 minutes. See, when the proposal for Aurobindo was started in 1966-67, Pranab was very enthusiastic. There are photographs of him going to Aurobindo and taking photos for the, what is it called, measuring of land and all that. He was quite supportive. Now in 68, when Aurobindo Day was going to be established, Mother gave her darshan from the terrace darshan. And Aurobillians, foreigners, 2 from each country, all rushed here. People had to go to Delhi, go to the embassies, pick up 2 children who knew nothing of what they are coming for. They all came here. Some knew, some did not know. I was very involved with that work. And all these people were all put up on the terrace of Kishore Gandhi, that is where the dispensary is now, upstairs, right opposite Mother. So when Mother came to the terrace darshan, many of these, especially the European and Americans, were very arrogant. The Africans were superbly humble. Even Mother commented on that. Those fellows were standing and making fun of the Mother. Pranav has told me himself, I was standing behind the Mother. If I could, I would have jumped across to the other terrace and thrashed them. No respect whatsoever. He told Mother, what have you done? You are going to create chaos here. Third-rate people have been brought in without preparation. Why don't you make your ashram better? Still he tried to cooperate for some time. Then he told me that at one stage he got the information that money which was meant for the ashram was being diverted to Sri Aurobindo Society for Aurobindo in all kinds of subtle manners. So he told Mother, completely wrong. Then he shifted. At that time Aurobindo also was in a mess, drugs and this and that were there. So he said, Mother, I don't want my children to be exposed to all this nonsense. There was somebody in the playground who sat down for meditation. Meditation is over, half an hour sitting. The force has descended into my legs. They found it was being bitten by red ants and drunken behavior. So Pranav said, nothing to do with Aurobindo. Ashram and Aurobindo completely separate. You can do your Aurobindo what you like, Mother, but I am not involved and I will not be involved.
How did Mother respond?
No response at all. She kept on doing what she thought was right, through Shyam Sundar and many others. To Pranav, she never said anything. Neither encouragement nor discouragement. She left him to go his own way. She never intervened. This he himself told me. I asked him, how did Mother react? She said, no reaction. She used to do what she felt was right, and she completely ignored Prananda. Right? So this is how things happened. Shall I tell you one little story of the school in 1966 or 67? It was, see, the school and the playground, we used to admit children, mainly in the school, and all of them would go to the playground also, and they would be admitted. Now, Kirit Bhai I think with mothers, I would say tacit support, but at least indirect support, began to expand. Pranab said, I can't take more than this. It is very difficult for me to handle the group, young children. I can't handle more than that. So he made a limit. The result was that in school there were 750 students. In the playground there were 550. 200 students not allowed to enter the playground, gradually. But you have to give them some occupation, no? So the school became a playground. Where knowledge building is there, there was a little courtyard, it was a playground. Nandanam, there was a garden, that became a playground. That group was called Group X. Not the regular group, Group X. And they were suffering from a terrible complex. Not allowed to do march past, etc., etc. It was not a happy situation at all. Pranab, Kirit clash. Pranab wanted to restrict the number, Kirit wanted to increase the number. So at one stage, Tara spoke to mother. He said, Mother, it is a very unhappy situation. Mother said, yes, I understand that, but then now you must reduce the number in the school. You can't have so many. See, after all, Pranab is responsible. So, Tara used to go every night to mother in the evening, then she used to come back. So she called some teachers and said that mother has said that we have to reduce gradually. Each teacher has to be requested to give the number of students he can handle for different subjects. So every one of us gave. I gave for history, civics, for mathematics a little more, etc., etc. Some people said, Mother, whatever is thy will, we will do. Our mother said, all this, stop this nonsense. I want to know what your capacity is. All those figures we give it to the mother. Mother, very rational, scientific, said, I think 550 or 500 will be a good number. So we started trimming out, not taking more, till the number came to approximately 500 odd by 1973-74. In D group, there was a time when I had 100 people in my group. 3 basketball courts, 2 volleyball courts, football, and no place, so cricket, net practice. So we introduced that. So that was all cut down. Then the mother left her body. Pranab said 550 is too much, 400 plus minus. So he has fixed the number at 400. So the school now has to be in tune with 400. They would like to take more. So anyway, all these are, very actual problems that we have to face. In fact, last year they tried to get more. So the captains of the groups were asked, they said, we can't handle more. 15 children, 30 children going to the swimming pool, I can't take the risk of somebody drowning there. One drowning is enough. So we will not handle more than that. Secondly, teachers are all 75 years old. Arunaben is almost 80. Right? We are all in the late 70s. No one new is coming up. Every student who finishes his studies here is leaving out. They offer services. But offering a service and committing yourself is a very big difference. Right? We gave everything. Day and night, school, playground, mother. These people are doing their business, they are doing this 2 hours of good service. And then when there is a pressure on the business, they say, no, we can't come today. Right? So the future of the institution is now, I won't say in danger, but we have to resolve this problem. Only the mother was there.